Jordan, this is something that while you were in Europe, if people remember that watch the show daily, a few months back, you were in Europe with our European Center. You were going around meeting with a lot of officials in different countries and really showcasing that there is an American conservatism, American-style conservative movement in Europe that we've never seen before. And it's important to try and foster that and protect that because we know that the radical left there will try and do the same thing that they are doing here. But there's something you even teased, like in the coming months, we're going to be able to explain something that we are getting involved in. And today, I think, is a perfect time, especially during our 35 years of victory, showing what we can do in the global reach. There's something you want to talk about today.
That's right. So I'd said that we were working on some other legal issues. There are conservative movements happening in Europe, and I think if you're tuned into kind of conservative movements around the globe, you know that. You know, you've seen that happening in places like Hungary and Viktor Orban. We were in Hungary. That's where we started our trip in Budapest. But in France with Marine Le Pen. But what you might not know is that Marine Le Pen has been banned from running for office in 2027. Her party, the Assemblée Nationale, which is really national rally is how it would translate into English, is the biggest political party in France by far. It is the only party that has, 40+% of the vote. So in France, there's coalition governments. The reason why they didn't get in the coalition last time was that the moderates blocked them out, made the coalition with Macron. They are so worried about the upcoming 2027 election that they have manufactured a way to try and keep Marine Le Pen off the ballot in French courts. Now, French courts have the system where if a judge feels like it's necessary to almost implement the penalty while you're still in the appeal process, so this is just court stage one. And I'll take you back. This is a retroactive law that happened at the Council of Europe about how to pay interns. But France decided to make it retroactive instead of forward-looking. The Council of Europe didn't say this law is going to apply also 15 years ago. It said from now on, this is how we're going to handle this issue. And there's no allegation that there's any wrongdoing since the law has been in force. So France goes back and says, well, you weren't doing it this way before, and they've used that as a way to ban Marine Le Pen from running for office. As of right now, she cannot be a candidate in the next presidential election, which is 2027. And I will tell you, to change the world, it's important that we fight battles here in the United States because the United States is that shining city on the hill, that shining light that we want to be. And it's most key, and that's where most of our resources go. But when we have the opportunities to assist these movements that are embracing us around the world, that are asking for our assistance, and in this case, while we were there, Marine Le Pen came directly to the European Center for Law and Justice asking for our assistance in helping to prepare a legal filing before the European Court of Human Rights, which is something we have now done for her team. And we've been a lot of preparation. Gregor and his team using the most senior attorneys and legal minds we have there who practice before the European Court of Human Rights. So what we're trying to do is take this case out of this French system, which has allowed for this this penalty to go into place while the appeal is ongoing. Surprise, surprise, by the way. What does this sound like to you? We don't like this candidate. They're too strong. They're too popular. So let's try to use lawfare to keep them from even being an option for people, even being an option on the ballot. And that's what's happened right now in France. As things stand, she would not be able to be a candidate. She is the most popular politician in France as we speak by 25 or 30% of the any poll that you look at, and she has been banned. And of course, the other political parties, they say nothing. But the ACLJ, working with the ECLJ, we're taking a stand, working with Marine Le Pen, and I think this is unique because again, it's all of that work that we have done at the ACLJ, even work that we've done outside the ACLJ for President Trump, it all comes into play here, working with these other leaders to make sure when we have opportunities to elect like-minded conservatives, and the French people have decided that they want to elect like-minded conservatives, that they want to see change most of the time domestically It's not so much that they want to be exactly like the United States. It's that they've got their own domestic issues. They believe that their socialist style of government hasn't quite worked for the people in France. And so this is a huge opportunity. And I want to thank everybody who supports the ACLJ, because this is the kind of work that we do that we can't always come right out and say, hey, we're doing this. Hey, we're in discussions about this, or this is how we're going to do it. These are, again, high level, very discreet. We had a lot of discreet meetings. You may have seen some of my time in Paris. That's what we were doing there, meeting with her legal team. And you do those meetings, and it comes to fruition and helping to prepare for the filing that has been filed before the European Court of Human Rights.
So, Jordan, I just want to get this straight, right? Because I hear a political opposing party decides to go after their opponent with lawfare, with the express goal of getting them taken off the ballot so that they can't compete in the next election. And then the ACLJ gets involved through the ECLJ. That sounds a lot like the ballot ban and the 14th Amendment issue that we handled here, representing the Republican Party of Colorado, where we wanted to fight for people's right to vote for the candidate of their choice and not have lawfare undo those decisions and block them from voting the way that their conscience allows them to. We even helped out other parties in the United States because the left tried to do that. They're doing that very thing that they tried to do against President Trump now in France. It's almost like they watched what happened here and tried to mimic that playbook to see if they could get away with it.
It's actually a very similar playbook. The words that are used to the negative words and adjectives and adverbs used to describe President Trump are used against Marine Le Pen and the party and national rally there. The same kind of, again, context of what they mean to be on the right, and that they are, you hear words like fascist, you hear words like Nazis. When you actually look up at their actual political ideology, it's more similar to just a kind of mainstream Republican. And with its own French twist on things, obviously, because it's a different system. But I just want to underscore to people the impact they are having around the world to build true allies with America who embrace American conservatism and say, you know what, we should bring a form of that, not the exact same thing, but something like that could work here in our own country. And when we can assist, we're going to. Now, how are we able to do that without even being able to tell you that we're doing it? Because you trust us with your support to the ACLJ. You make those donations. This is a critical time to do it at aclj.org. I encourage you to do it today to double your impact, because we cannot allow the lawfare that began against the state of Israel and then started against President Trump individually, and now has moved against Marine Le Pen and others in European conservative political parties that we are standing with. I just want you to know we are front and center in these major battles around the world. Donate to us at aclj.org so we can continue to be front and center in those major battles.